Have you ever wondered why your attempts to reward your children for good behavior seem to backfire? It's a perplexing parenting paradox, isn't it? You'd think an extra scoop of ice cream for tidying up their room would have them racing to clean, yet somehow it's just not adding up. What if we told you there's more to this reward system than meets the eye? Intrigued? We thought so. Stay tuned to unravel the mystery behind the reward system scam in parenting. Rewards, as we all know, are the proverbial carrot on the stick. It's like an unspoken agreement between parents and children, isn't it? Finish your veggies, get dessert, ace the test, earn more video game time. It's a system that seems to work like a charm, a brilliant piece of parenting strategy coded into our DNA. But let's take a step back for a moment, shall we? Let's delve into the labyrinth of everyday parenting and take a closer look at this reward system. Picture this. You're in a bustling supermarket. Your child spots a candy bar and their eyes light up like a Christmas tree. But you've been trying to cut back on sugar, so you propose a deal. Behave during the shopping and the candy bar is yours. Sounds familiar, right? Now let's fast forward to a week later. The same supermarket, the same candy aisle, and the same hopeful eyes. But this time, there's no candy bar at the end of the rainbow. Suddenly, behaving during shopping isn't as tempting without the sweet reward. So what's going wrong here? Well, here's the kicker. By constantly tying behavior to rewards, we're inadvertently teaching our children that good behavior is a means to an end, not an end in itself. It's like saying, be good, not because it's the right thing to do, but because you'll get a treat. In the grand scheme of things, this might not seem like a big deal, but think about it. We're essentially creating a generation of kids who might only behave if there's a tangible reward in sight. And that, my friends, is a bit of a sticky wicket, isn't it? So we're left with a burning question. Is this reward system really the parenting panacea it's made out to be? Or are we setting ourselves and our children up for a fall? So what happens when the carrot doesn't seem appetizing anymore? Let's dive into the minds of our little ones and explore the psychology behind rewards. When we think about it, rewards are everywhere in our lives. We work for a paycheck, we exercise for a healthier body, and we even watch our favorite shows for a dose of entertainment. But when it comes to our children, the stakes are higher and the consequences more profound. Leading psychologists have given us a lot to chew on. According to them, rewards can sometimes lead to decreased intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic what, you ask? Well, intrinsic motivation is the drive to do something because it's personally rewarding. It's doing a task for its own sake, rather than for a reward. Now, this might seem a bit counterintuitive. After all, isn't a gold star supposed to motivate our little ones to do better? Here's where it gets interesting. Experts suggest that while rewards might motivate in the short term, they could potentially undermine the very motivation we're trying to build. Think of it this way. When our kids come to expect a reward every time they do something good, they might start doing it for the reward, not because it's the right thing to do. It's like they're saying, "Why should I clean my room if I'm not getting a cookie?" This is not to say that all rewards are bad. It's all about balance. The key is to use rewards sparingly and strategically. The occasional treat or special privilege can definitely boost motivation. But when it becomes a constant expectation, it might just backfire. Let's take a moment to think about our own lives. Do we do things solely for the reward, or because we genuinely enjoy them? Our little ones are no different. They too need to find joy in the task itself, not just in the reward that comes afterwards. Intriguing, isn't it? It appears we might be unintentionally setting up a reward addiction. But don't worry, we're in this together, navigating the tricky waters of parenting and learning as we go. So, is the reward system a scam? Let's unravel this together. Now, imagine a child who receives a cookie every time they finish their homework. Initially, the cookie is a sweet bonus, an incentive to power through the math problems. But over time, the cookie becomes the main event. Homework turns into a mere stepping stone to the sugary reward. The true value of learning gets lost somewhere between the algebra and the chocolate chips. This, my friends, is one of the inherent flaws in the reward system. It can sometimes shift the focus away from the actual task and onto the reward. The motivation for doing something changes from the inherent value of the task to the external reward. Consider another scenario. A child gets a gold star every time they help with the household chores. The gold stars pile up, and before you know it, the child starts expecting a star for every tiny act of assistance. The voluntary act of helping around the house has now turned into a transaction. The child may start to think, if there's no gold star, why bother? This is where entitlement sneaks in. When rewards become the norm, children might start to feel entitled to them, even for tasks they should be doing anyway. This could potentially lead to a decreased motivation to do anything without a reward. Furthermore, think about this. What happens when the rewards stop? Will the homework still get done? Will the dishes still get washed? Or will these tasks be ignored because there's no longer a cookie or a gold star at the end of the line? These examples highlight how the reward system, while seemingly beneficial, can sometimes backfire. It might inadvertently teach children that every action needs a prize, fostering a "what's in it for me" attitude. Are we unknowingly fostering a "what's in it for me" attitude in our children? If the reward system is flawed, what are the alternatives? Well, let's dive into that. First, let's talk about fostering intrinsic motivation. This is the desire to do something, not because of a reward, but because it's personally satisfying. So instead of saying, if you finish your vegetables, you'll get dessert, try, eating your vegetables makes you strong and healthy. The key here is to foster a sense of accomplishment and personal growth, rather than dangling a carrot. Next up, teaching delayed gratification. This is a fancy way of saying, good things come to those who wait. Instead of immediate rewards, encourage your child to wait for something they want. This could be as simple as saving up their allowance to buy a toy, or waiting until after dinner to have dessert. This teaches them that patience can lead to greater rewards in the long run. And finally, building a growth mindset. This is about teaching your child that failure is not the end, but rather a stepping stone towards success. Instead of rewarding them for getting a good grade, reward their effort and perseverance. Encourage them to try new things, and remind them that it's okay to make mistakes. After all, even the best of us trip and fall sometimes. So there you have it, folks. 3 alternatives to the traditional reward system: fostering intrinsic motivation, teaching delayed gratification, and building a growth mindset. Each one is a tool in your parenting toolbox, ready for you to use when you see fit. But remember, every child is unique, and what works for one might not work for another. It's all about trial and error, patience, and a whole lot of love. So don't be afraid to mix things up, to try new methods, and to learn alongside your child. After all, parenting isn't just about guiding your child, it's also about growing with them. Remember, parenting is not a one-size-fits-all journey. It's about finding what works best for your family. So, let's sum up what we've learned about the reward system scam in parenting. It's not always rainbows and unicorns, is it? The reward system, although often seen as a magical parenting tool, can be a double-edged sword, sometimes causing more harm than good. We've heard from the experts who shared their insights about the psychology behind rewards. It's clear that a constant stream of rewards can actually diminish a child's intrinsic motivation. They might start doing things for the prize at the end of the rainbow, rather than for the joy of the activity itself. We've also delved into the heart of the matter, unraveling the reward system scam. It's not that rewards are inherently bad, but misuse and overuse can create a dependency, turning our little angels into reward junkies. But don't fret. We've also explored some fantastic alternatives to the reward system, from praising effort rather than results, to fostering a sense of responsibility and autonomy. There's a whole world of effective parenting strategies out there. So, while the reward system might seem like a quick fix, remember, it's not the only tool in your parenting toolbox. Understanding the impact of rewards on your child's behavior and motivation is crucial to raising well-rounded individuals. Thank you for joining this journey. If you found this video enlightening, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more parenting paradoxes.